शिवभारतः
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे पुरुषोत्तमयोगो नाम पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु। शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वापुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुद्रमरुतः दिव्यैस्तवैः Vedai Sangapadah Kramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Na Vidhusurasuraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Shastra very clearly says, whatever it is non-separate from the Lord, the Creator. So many mantras are there. Ishavasyam idagum sarvam onwards. Sarvam khalu idam brahma. So many mantras. In spite of this fact, not only Shastra telling, but wise people sort of knowing this fact, seeing this fact. There is also a fact that there are so many jivas, so many different entities, apparently different from the Lord. Though there is one non-dual, it appears there are so many. How this many has come? That is a question. Has the one really become many, dividing itself? If it is divided itself, then what is the dividing principle? That means there is something else also, who divides the whole thing and by which it stands divided. And if divided, then how can we realize the truth that whatever it is only one? So only answer is, division is purely born out of ignorance. It is, technically we call it as mithya. So jivatvam is simply because of ignorance. There is only one space, but in spite of there is one space, there are so many pot spaces, different from each other in size, in smell, etc. That division are only apparent, means from the standpoint of view of the walls of the pot, not space per se. So jiva is mama swarupaha eva, kintu amshaha eva amshaha. If that Lord, as though, if really divides, then any amsha, part, cannot be permanent. And that which is available for division also cannot be permanent. So Ishwarasya nityatvam na sambhavati. It cannot be nityam. And when you say part, the part is different from the main. That means two. Who sees whom? That means the one becomes jada. More so, the part damaging the total also is possible. So many logical fallacies may arise if there is really a part. Partness is out of ignorance. And therefore it says, amshaha iva, mameva amsho jiva loke sanatana. That amsha, if it is a part, it cannot be sanatana. Sanatanaha is its swarupa. It cannot become eternal. I can become eternal if I am already eternal. So, we saw out of this physio-psycho complex, the consciousness reflecting or manifesting in this antakaranam takes itself to be the size of this body. Like even the sun reflecting in a pool of water takes itself to be the size of the pool of that water. If that water is dirty, sun takes itself to be dirty. If water is clean, somehow that sun takes itself to be clean. If water happens to be Ganga Jalam, the sun thinks, I am very pure, by birth, like that. I have been born to pure caste, pure yoni. These are all attributes of the upadhi, the reflecting medium, not the sun per se. So also, here, consciousness remaining the same, the differences are because of upadhi. The concept of upadhi explains the Brahman appearing as many. Remaining one still appears many. Now, that is incidental attribute of a sun. Whatever is reflected in the pool of water is whole, total. Reflecting medium size and gunadharmas changes, so the reflection has different size and gunadharmas. But sun per se has no changes in itself. So also here, and as we saw yesterday, what is that reason that reflecting or manifesting medium is sukshma sharira, subtle body. It is like, then the rebirth is explained. If the pot space dies with the notion that I am pot space, that pot space will be born as a saucer space or cup space or whatever other space. But if it knows that I am space per se, then there is no rebirth. What takes him to the new birth? Then he says that we saw yesterday, Manashasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. It takes away all these indriyas. Please understand, the death of jiva is talked about with reference to jiva living one particular body. As such, there is no death. Jiva giving up one physical body, endowed with ignorance, and assuming another body is birth and death. As such, there is no death either for jiva or for body. Jiva is also eternal, continues the birth and death cycle till the ignorance is there. And the body also doesn't die. It was a lump of Pancha Mahabhutas which merges into Samashti Panchabhutas. The Jivatma moves around as per the karma phalas. So, the status of Jivatvam to the consciousness is also superimposed, and that being the case, there is no real Jiva, so there is no real death also. The superimposed dies and the superimposed born. Conditioned Atma, one who takes oneself to be doer, karta, bhokta, etc., that superimposition keeps traveling. And then Jiva lives. What happens? He withdraws. Manashasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Each sense organ abides in this body at a proper place. That is, in Sanskrit it is called golakaha. Now these eyes, what we see here, is a place for the sense organ called eye to reside. The sense of touch resides in this place called tongue. Sense of hearing resides in the place called ear. But this is not ear, because there are deaf fellows having this. The sense organ is not working, and since all these sthanas are made up of Prakriti, so Shruti Gita says, Prakriti sthani karshati. He takes away, pulls them from the body. When he leaves, one goes from one place to another place, along with the subtle body. The subtle body Jiva carries. Like in dream, we are in a subtle form. When you see the dream, inside the dream also you are there. There are subtle experiences of the dream. Objects are subtle, experiencer is subtle, and the very experience is also subtle. That goes on. And when it is said Manashasthani, mind and those five organs, it implies It's a upalakshana for all the 70. As I said yesterday, subtle body consists of these 17 elements. 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action, pancha pranaha, manaschaika, buddhischaika. All 17 goes. There are prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. There are 5 pranas. These 5 pranas are responsible for all physiological function of the body. Samanaha, samikaranavan samanaha, the digestive power. Vyanaha, vishwagamanavan vyanaha, which pervades all over. And there is, just for information, the yogis, when they do pranayama, pranayama means they gain mastery over prana. So all pranas, they are with them. And therefore I have seen people who can eat the glass. Digestive system is in their so powerful. Or they can remain without eating for weeks together. There is a capacity they develop. Pranayama doesn't mean simply breath control. It is control or mastery over all the 5 pranas. So their physiological functions are under their power. They want to do whatever they want to do, they can do. And of that, just for information, the Udana Vayu is like the first ejecting rocket. When they send a satellite in the space, there is a gravitation. You have to go out of the force. There is a very first rocket, the first engine they fire up, which is very powerful. Throws the whole mass out of the gravitational force. So that is done by Udana Vayu. It is an ejecting force. It is generally dormant. And it is very powerful. All that is thrown out is done by Udana. But nobody can stop. Now there is modern etiquette. When you are talking, you should not yawn. The fellow doesn't want to yawn, but you cannot stop it, The sneezing. And then the fellow, I'm sorry. Well, why should you feel sorry? I just don't know. And especially in the West, when they sneeze, they say, I'm sorry. It is not in your hand. You are not sneezing deliberately. You are helpless. Udana becomes active when it throws out. Therefore, when the fellow starts vomiting, that is little more activation of Udana. When the Udana becomes active, then he cannot reach to the washroom. Boom! That's on the way, the whole thing goes out. That Udana is fully activated at the time of death. Okay? And there are Shastra, it is not a topic, just for information. It comes in 8th chapter and all. There is a place for all the Vayus. Udana Vayu resides here, in Kantha. So when you press this, that means you are pressing the button for Udana to activate, and then brrr, it starts. It takes away all the senses. Karmendriyani, prana, so that saman, just example, samana vayu is digestive, samikaranavan, everything goes. That is why the doctors are able to ascertain when the person died. When they open the stomach, they can make out the digestion stopped at this time. And if you can tell them he or she had the food at this time, then they calculate. When Samikaranam stops, Vishwagamanam stops, because gone. Vayuhu gandhan iva ashaya. Just as the wind picks up the molecules of the fragrance smell, you don't see when the wind picked up and where it threw it away. But then it goes. Similarly, we can infer all physiological activities, anatomical activities stops. There was a force which was there running the whole thing, and that Jivatma carries all the 17 Indriyas and goes to new body. Which body? as per yatha karma, yatha shrutam. According to his karmas, his sankalpas, desires, and his deeds, they go. Again, though not the topic, just for information, what kind of birth you have is purely decided by our own karmas. It is not that the Lord decides, because even in human birth, we find so much of variation. There are people who are born with silver spoon. Why silver? Platinum, diamond-studded spoon. Born to Mukesh Ambani or Bill Gates, Even to be born as the dog in the Bill Gates house must be platinum spoon. Or president of US has some cat or a dog, Bill Clinton had a cat. The cat had so many pictures, all the media was attending. And there are some who do not have ice cream spoon also, Vadilal ice cream spoon, that wooden spoon also they don't get. If God decides, then God is partial to some. And not only partial, he becomes a psychic person. Why psychic? The sufferings he gives, so he enjoys them suffering. That's not case. One's own karma takes him to various births. And there the subtle body starts manifesting. Each yoni, each body, birth, has its own speciality in terms of sense capabilities and in terms of ultimately gaining experiences in terms of sukha and dukkha. Because that is karma phalas, punya papa. The joys and sorrows that he or she has to undergo is possible only in that body. Like even in human birth, the joys and the sorrow, pains of being mother is not available to male. That Jivatma, if that Jivatma has karmas to go through the such joys, then Jivatma will be born in a female body. Though human qualified to have human birth. Then though subtle body has all the senses, but that body develops particular sense, not develops, manifests powerfully. Like if the Jivatma is born as a dog, this is very powerful. Nose. Therefore, police have dog squad. They smell at the airport. You know what you are carrying. Drugs and food. And especially when you go to this Australia and all that, they are very fastidious. American also, they don't let you Indian food, carrying. And a typical Indian woman will definitely carry. Everything from the bag will be there. And I have a lot of problem. When I go for such conferences, they give you the best hotel. But then it is meant to develop sakshitvam, okay? There are so many items, even breakfast. I don't eat eggs, no meat, no fish, no onion, no garlic, no pork. What can I eat? Nothing. So I become a sakshi, practical Vedanta. So I have to carry my stuff. And invariably I am lucky. That dog they smell but cannot find out what is there. Our Gujarati thepla and bhakri, and I am saved. At least 4 or 5 days I have something. Coming back, the dog has this. The bat has ears. You see how fast it goes? It sends the sound waves. And from that it recognizes there is an obstruction or not. Then do. That particular sense organ, they carry all the senses and then goes. Gruhitva etani sanyati. Sanyati means samyak yati. He goes very well. Goes very well. What kind of going? Yad gatva na nivartanti. Goes for good. Punaragamana rahityena gachanti. They don't come back. Jivatma, once they leave the body, they cannot re-enter the body And that Jivatma is master. Since he or she wills the body, he is addressed as Ishvara. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapi utkramati Ishvara. Either when he gains the body or when he leaves the body. That Ishvara, one who rules the body, the Jiva who is a master of this body, either when he moves away from the body, he takes away all the Sukshma Shariras, and when he moves into the new body, Jivatma brings all the sense organ. And just as when we check in a hotel, we open our luggage and slowly one by one things come out, daily. Similarly, one by one sense organ opens up. Like take an example of a typical human baby. The first senses of perception open up, then senses of action, and simultaneously prana start manifesting. What are the first senses of perception to open up? The tongue starts. Everything goes in mouth. Eating is there, but taste is little missing. Then slowly, even the sense of touch is missing. When a mosquito bites, baby doesn't cry. Baby wets, baby doesn't cry. Mother knows. After 6 or 8 months, he starts recognizing. Then sense of action starts. So I had told you other day, in vernacular language they say now legs have come, pav aa gaye. Feet mean that he starts walking. The tongue has come, means he starts talking. And then prana slowly control over evacuation, what to do, what not to do. And then finally buddhi, antahkarana, at the age of 2, after 2 years it opens up. The luggage is opened up because we are here for some long time, not first day. And then packing also starts, okay? Understand? Now I know some of you must have packed up certain things. Only 2 days left, Swamiji, not necessary. So then they start packing. When you find, what did you say? That means this has been packed off now. Go. I can't see. That means eyes are packed off. Digestion stops. Some people then as the age advances, I can't digest. That means samana vayu is being packed off. Slowly packing starts. Because now the time has come to depart. That is the job of Udana. And as I said, inference is there and Shastra is Pramana for Sukshma Sharira and Indriyas. Why this discussion is made? Why Lord is interested in talking about birth or so? No. He explains in next verse. We just go through 9th verse and then come to the 10th. Shrotram chakshusparshanam cha rasanam ghranameva cha adishthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. What are the senses? Shrotram, all 5 senses of perception. Shrotram means ears, chakshuhu means eyes, sparshanam sense of touch, rasanam sense of taste, granam sense of smell, adishthaya manaschayam presiding over all this. Manaha as well means presiding over all the senses of action and senses of perception. Vishayan upasevate. Why does Jivatma go to new body? And having gone, then what does he do? And when does he live? The answer is that. What is that? He enjoys or experiences the objects of the world according to his or her own karma phalas. Only the punya papa, sukha dukkha, which he or she has to go through, the Jivatma has to go through, brings him to that particular body. And through this sense of Sukshma Sharira is a sadhanam, means for experience. The experiencer is Jivatma. But through what does he experience? The means of experience is the subtle body. When there is a subtle body, that means that particular sense organs available, then that particular experience is possible. For example, if a person is born blind, that means this particular Jivatma doesn't have karmas to enjoy or experience forms and colors. Prarabdha is missing, full stop. So, according to what he or she has to experience, go through, Sukha and Dukha, in terms of Rupa, Ranga, Rasa, Gandha, etc., that particular sense organs are there, and that particular capable sense organs are there to enjoy certain, as I said, smell. That Jivatma has a special yoni, body, to have that particular extra capability to enjoy that extra senses, perception and experience. He goes there, mainly for karma phala. Why for this discussion? Discussion is not to tell us that we take birth and death again and again. Discussion is not to tell us that there is a Sukshma Sharira which goes and comes. Discussion is to tell that there is Atma, which is so-called Jivatma taking itself better. Look at it. That is a discussion. That's the 10th verse. Look at that. Utkramantam sthitam vapi Bhunjanam va gunanvitam Vimudhananu pashyanti Pashyanti gnana chakshushaha Utkramantam sthitam vapi Bhunjanam va gunanvitam Vimudhananu pashyanti Pashyanti gnana chakshushaha The one dehagatam, dehadgatam va, one who is living the body, abiding in the body or gaining the body, utkramantam, parityajantam, one who is living, giving up, sthitam, when he is there inside the body, or bhunjanam, when he is experiencing the objects, or gunanvitam, when he is endowed with these gunas, prakriti gunas, then to him vimudaha, deluded one, na anupashyanti, they do not see properly. Gnana chakshushaha, those who are endowed with the eyes of wisdom, pashyanti. See, the point here is vimudaha. Vimudatvam is being pointed out. Though Jivatma thinks that I undergo birth and death, I have varieties of karma phalas to exhaust, and I have varieties of yonis to take place, so many things to do, etc. But then who is this Jivatma? Shankaracharya ji says, Atyanta darshana gochara praptam atmanam na pashyanti. Jivatma is nothing but the self. Okay? And to take oneself to be Jivatma is maudhyam. That is the delusion. And it is all because of the delusion there are birth and death. The Jivatvam is because of that. Even when there is a Jiva, the Atma is right there. Because Jivatvam is superimposed upon the self. Like even, this, he takes himself to be so and so. There is a word called grahastha. Grahastha means one who lives in home. Gruhe tishtati iti grahastha. But one who lives in home doesn't take himself to be home. He doesn't say, I am apartment number so and so. I live in this apartment number so and so. Similarly, this body is a home. Dehasthaha Atma. It is as though obtaining in the body. But somehow it takes itself to be what? I am Dehaha. It is obtaining in this Antakaranam, Buddhi. Then it takes itself to be Buddhi Gunanvitam, endowed with these gunas of manas. Mind is dukhi, mind is sukhi, kami, krodhi, lobhi, shant, ashant, etc., etc. He somehow takes himself to be this. Sukha, dukha, ityadaya. What are they? Antahkarana vritti vishesha. They are the modifications of the mind. They are various states of the mind. But then, that is mudatva, delusion. Somehow the identification takes place. And he says, aham dukhi, aham sukhi. So who is a vimudaha? What is a delusion? The one who doesn't see himself to be different from sukshma sharira, different from sthula sharira. Person that says, I am blind, I am deaf, that is identification with sense organs which belongs to sukshma sharira. That I which is always available, svata siddham, self-revealing, self-evident consciousness being there, in spite of that Atma being there, that self-evident, self-revealing consciousness is construed to be body-mind complex. That is vimudhatvam. What is vimudhatvam? Technically saying, identification with the body-mind complex. Adhyasaha, superimposing upon I all this. And we have seen earlier why it is called superimposition. How do you say I am not body? Because I know the body. The knower is always different from the known. Just as I know the house, so I am not the house. So also I know the body, I know the mind, I know my intellect, I know my prana. Everything is known. And the irony or maya is, this is that there is so much self-contradictory statement, that is mudatva. When the fellow goes to a doctor and he asks, doctor says, what's the problem? Oh doctor, there is too much of pain in my stomach. Okay? Or he will say, I have stomach pain. And somebody calls up after some time, hey, how are you? Oh, I am in great pain. Now look at these two sentences. In my stomach there is pain and I am in great pain. He himself tells this is my stomach. It is like saying my car's tire is punctured and saying I am punctured. How can you say that? When you say this is mine, how can you say that that state of my object becomes my state? That which is available for objectification cannot be me. But this is how happens right from childhood. See, this Maya is right from birth. You know, parents, when the toddler is learning something, they are teaching him identification or to know the organs. So then they will say, what is this? Then he will say, this is my hand. What is this? This is my stomach. What is this? This is my eye. Everything my mind. And where is Chintu? I am Chintu. How come I am Chintu? Then the whole thing becomes I. The assembly. What is referred as mine is referred, somehow becomes I. That is Vimudhatva. Shankaracharya ji writes, Lord expresses the sympathy, pain. The self is so vivid. It is atyanta darshana gochara praptam. It is right available as I. But somehow the lot of jiva is Jiva takes itself to be this misconception. And from this misconception, there is another one, it goes on. What does he take? I am Jiva, subject to birth and death. And then there is another misconception. What? I will be liberated if I go to such and such a loka. Let me go to heaven. Let me go to Vaikuntha loka. Let me go to some loka. And therefore let me do some karma. This is another purpose. And that jivatsam, sense of isolation, sense of dukkhitvam will never ever go. Wherever you go, that fellow will be always there. Temporarily it will be forgotten. To begin with, oh, so nice, so nice. Suppose the fellow is put into the best hotel, costing $50,000 per night in this Hollywood. Purnaham. But then there is a presidential suite also costing $1 lakh. That's enough. Something or other will always be there to compare. To make you feel that I am small. And as Pujya Swamiji will say, he goes to Bhagavan, suppose. And he wanted the vision of the Lord, darshan of the Bhagavan. And he thought that is moksha. I will have darshan. Okay. He went to Loka, Bhagavan is sitting there. But there also there is a queue and a row. He is not put in a first row. There will be problem. Suppose in a first row, then he will think, I am in the side, let me be in the front. Another problem. The fellow is put in the front, but what will be the back of Bhagavan? I am deprived of the back. That leg will be there. He is always missing something. That Jivatma this is a lot. Shankaracharya says, Bhagavan is as though lamenting, what a pity. Fellow is a happiness, Ananda Swarupa. And the fellow goes around with a begging bowl, seeking happiness from the world outside. Fellow is limitless and goes around seeking some sense of security, some fullness in the world outside. That is Vimudha. Vimudha means non-thinking. What is non-thinking? That somehow, as they say in Sanskrit, Gathanu Gatiko Lokaha Na Loka Parmarthika. There is a story. One Brahmana went for yatra, pilgrimage. And as per Hindu tradition, when you go to pilgrimage, you take bath in every river. Whatever the river is there, some punya. He happened to land up in Bombay. So Samudra Snanam also should be done. It should take bath in the ocean. That is also punya. But poor fellow had one vessel, lota. In those days you have to bring the water, and then that was a carry thing, possession. Happened to be that's the only precious possession. So when he left the clothes and that vessel there, and it was a Bombay, Juhu beach. So children were playing, people were walking around. He went to Samudram. On the way he was just going. And being a Brahmana, felt like doing Sandhya Vandanam and Argyam right in the ocean. So he said, if I do, it will take time. And while I am concentrating on japa, what will happen to my lota? That will be a problem. He thought somebody may take away. So then he said, let me hide it. So he removed some sand and put it under. Then while he went, then he thought, if I put under the sand, how will I know where have I put? So again came back, thought of some evidence, Being a Brahmana created a Shivlinga. Okay, of sand. There is a Shivlinga, down below is my lot. He went and was feeling secure. So quietly did his snanam and then Sandhya Vandanam, Argyam, whole Gayatri Mala means almost 10 minutes. So everything got over, he came back and he lost the lota. You know why? Children were playing, they saw this is something good to make. There were hundreds like that. Setau Saivkat Lingena Nashtam me Tamra Bhajanam Gatanugatiko Lokaha na Lokah Paramarthikaha. Yeah, with this setas, this linga made up of sand, I lost my vessel. Why? Gatanugatika. People just follow what others do. Somehow, right from the birth, this Vimudaha goes after earth and kama. Sense of wellness. Look at this. Sense that I am okay. Look at a typical teenager. His or her sense of wellness lies in modern fashion, in latest hairstyle, in some clothes. And if the parents can afford good clothes, but it has to be cut. Somewhere. Something, because somebody does. It's so vivid. Lack of self-esteem. Lack of sense of self-satisfaction. Bhagavan says, he is Purna, Atma Trupta, Tathapi na Anupashyanti. And there, why Vimuda? Shankaracharya ji writes, Drashta adrashta vishaya bhoga bala akrishta chetaha. Their mind, akrishta chetaha, is pulled by the balam of vishayas, padarthas. As though sense objects are powerful to pull his mind, means he is preoccupied. I5 mobile, that is it. The fellow is after that phone till he gets. Somehow thinking in some vishaya, some relationship, some object, some situation, some place, some position, some status, some power, something will make me complete. That is Vimudatvam. Mind is preoccupied in acquiring the projected objects, projected happiness on any of this. That is Vimudaha. And then who sees? Pashyanti Gnana Chakshushaha. One who has the eye of knowledge. Knowledge itself is an eye. And sometimes the verb seeing is used in terms of knowing. Why? Seeing, even in a court of law, if some crime is committed and there is a witness who says, I heard the noise, that fellow shot, some shot came, I heard the noise, that doesn't become a conclusive evidence. But if someone says, I saw him shooting, that is conclusive. So seeing implies the knowledge free from doubts and error. That happens from the eyes. So the knowledge is also equated as Gnana Chakshu, the eye of knowledge. Eye of knowledge means the people who have this knowledge. What knowledge? Naham Jiva. He has a knowledge in spite of wielding this body. Even though I am there in this body, working through the body, I am not this. Exactly like other day I told you, actor saying, playing a role of a beggar, behaving like a beggar, he knows I am not a beggar. Or in a modern language, Pujya Swamiji often gives this example, when someone comes, travels and reaches to you, hey, how did you make it so fast? That fellow will say, I made 70 miles an hour. I did 70 miles means what? He was sitting in a car. With reference to car, I made 70 miles. Similarly, when wise men say, I did this, he knows, with reference to body, I did. I have nothing to do. I am the witness of this. That is Gnana Chakshushaha Pashyanti. Pramana Chakshu. One who have gained this knowledge from Shastras, what they know? That I am free from all attributes, even when I say I am with attribute. Even when the actor says I am beggar, he knows I am free from all beggarly attributes. Gnana Chakshusha. They see the self-evident, self-conscious self, and that all attributes are incidental. Like beggar is incidental because of the role of beggar. King is incidental. Kingship is incidental because he actually plays the role of a king. Similarly, whatever role or action a wise man is doing, wise man knows that is only incidental. Naham karta, naham bhokta. Najayate mriyate va kadach. He may say, to fill up the form for the passport office, what is your birth date? But he knows I am free from birth and death. He may say I am hungry and thirsty, but he knows it is with reference to body there is hunger, not to me. All this is incidental, aupadikam, that is called gnana chakshu. And little further, for your explanation, this particular concept is given a form in Lord Shiva. We have a third eye here. You must have seen a picture. Not that literally he has three eyes. Two are enough to see. He doesn't require the third eye. Third eye is a symbolic. What is symbolic? He sees something more. What is something more? Other day I gave you an example. In a typical Indian family, when the marriage is to take place, and if for the daughter, the ornaments are to be bought, three will go. The girl who is getting married will go to purchase, her mother will be accompanying, and grandmother also will go. The girl sees what? Only the design. Which actress wore which design? She is interested in that. Mother sees the price tag, how much it is, I have to pay. And the grandmother has third eye. What third eye? She tells, this is not pure gold. She understands. They also see. But then that wisdom is missing. Third eye means what? Seeing something more than the form and the design and the price. Similarly, seeing something more than the nama rupa, that is third eye. Okay? That's what it is said. Isha vasyam idam sarvam. Isha drashtya achhadaniyam. You have to see. See means not that you have to make it Ishvara. It is Ishvara. You learn to see. Just as all the ornaments are nothing but gold. Gold vasyam idam sarvam. You have to see the gold. And therefore these words are used. See beyond. Beyond of what? Beyond of design. That's all. That is maudhyam. The mind is so much committed or attracted to design, it misses the substratum, adhishtanam, upon which the names and forms are superimposed, but from which the design is made. And this wise man sees the adhishtanam. That doesn't mean he doesn't see the world also. Some people tell, in that moment of realization, there was nothing but ocean of consciousness. As though the whole world is made into cauldron, one liquid pest. You see only consciousness. No. At the time, look at the sentence. At the time of realization of gold, there was no ornament. It cannot. Let it be there. Why you have a problem with the world? It is just name and form. Let it be there. He sees something plus. Understand? That is third eye. Extra eye is here because it implies wisdom. Lord Shiva has a third eye. He is a symbolic of wisdom. And therefore, even if you have seen some of his meditating posture, there's in Yoga Mudra, they call it, Ardha, half the eyes are open. I don't know, you've seen the pictures. Neither totally open nor totally closed. Implying what? in spite of utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam, while doing all worldly business, atmanam jananti, pashyanti. He sees the half the closed eye means he sees the self which is there, Atma, and half open means he does all the normal transactions that are to be done in the world. While interacting in the world, there is an awareness about the self. Like an actor playing all the roles has an awareness about who am I. That is symbolized by half eyes open, half eyes closed, having the wisdom. Anyway, so the Gnana Chakshu means in spite of saying or talking or behaving I with attributes. I am hungry, that is saying I am with attribute. He knows that I am attributeless. The actor says I am big, I am poor. That poorness is told, but knows that I am no more poor. Gnana Chakshushaha Pashyanti. Same thing was told in the 5th chapter. Pashyan, Sundvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Gashnan, Swapan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. Even while simple activity of seeing, smelling, listening, talking, etc., Pashyanti Gnanina. They see the self, which is so evident, permeating all the roles, that is they see. And now he further explains what happens and why some cannot see and why some see. That we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.